Hello there! Thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and what an unusual poster to show you today. Check this out. 1958 was the year, and this was for a college dance, right? And it's just in beautiful, as you can see, bright, beautiful day-glow colors. And featured at the dance was 3 hit acts and 3 support acts. And it was a benefit as well for multiple sclerosis and thrown by a college fraternity. So there's all kinds of unusual aspects about this poster, including the wording on it and so forth. But first, why don't we get to the heart of the poster, which of course is always the hit acts and the music they produced. And the biggest one on there by far, look at that, Shirley and Lee. Wow, just, right there with Let the Good Times Roll, right below the Lee name. And that's a 50s rock and roll classic if ever there was one. #1 R&B record for a month. And interestingly, on the pop charts, it only hit number 20, but it certainly became a staple of oldies radio subsequently, and just became an evergreen, and gosh, covered by, you name it, right? Everybody, just the list is like Roy Orbison, Barbra Streisand, Righteous Brothers, Sonny and Cher, even Funkmeister George Clinton did Let the Good Times Roll. So we all know it well, so it's definitely a very permanent song. It is wonderful to have right there under their name on the concert poster. It's funny, Shirley and Lee were only 20 years old in New Orleans when they wrote and recorded that song. Boy, that's probably took care of the rest of their life for songwriting royalties, I hope. And then also with Shirley and Lee, in the little blue corner up above the S in Shirley, you have Feel So Good, and that was a #2 R&B hit in 1955. Then you've got not just, right across from them, not just the 5 Satins, but interestingly Fred Paris and the 5 Satins, and the magical 50s song title once again, In the Still of the Night. Certainly one of the best known doo-wop songs of the 1950s. Now interestingly, I've seen the 5 Satins on other 50s concert posters before, but I've never seen Fred Paris and. So, the first thing you think is perhaps, is he trying to break away like, Diana Ross and the Preems or something like that. But it's an interesting story. Poor Fred actually wrote and sang lead on the song In the Still of the Night, but then he entered the Army, and he had to watch from overseas as the record took off and went top 5 rhythm and blues. So what do the 5 Satins do? They can't sit around and wait for his return. They got a replacement singer and went on the road. And there's Fred in the Army overseas. So when he finally came back to America and rejoined earlier in 1958, perhaps a little bit for his ego, or perhaps just mostly to tell the ticket-buying public that this is the original guy. They were billed as Fred Paris and the 5 Satins. I don't know for how long, but as you can see, this was a tour blank, so certainly for this tour, they were Fred Paris and the 5 Satins for justifiable reasons. Okay, then, right there in the middle of the poster, you've got the Heartbeats with 1,000 Miles Away. I'll get my hand off their picture, thank you very much. And that was a top 5 rhythm and blues record for them. And the other song titled One Day Next Year did not chart for them at all. Then we get to the Dubs. We slide it over here in the lower left-hand corner. In fact, to get their picture in, I have to sort of hold it like this. And Could This Be Magic is nice to have as the first song title there, because that's considered a doo-wop classic as well. And in the middle there, the big orange circle, let me slide this over here, you've got Lee Allen, who had simply an amazing career. My goodness, he played saxophone on most of Little Richard's early hits, for example, and played a whole lot with other New Orleans people, such as Fats Domino and Lloyd Price. And that wasn't it. Then he went on, he stuck around for decades, to actually play with the Stray Cats, right? And he played on the Blasters' first 3 albums on Slash Warner Brothers Records. How's that? And on 3 occasions, he actually joined the Rolling Stones on stage in concert. I think that was the early 80s. So Lee Allen really stuck it out in the music business, and that's great to see. And then the poster is rounded out, as you can see there, by Charlie and Ray, and tough to find out information on them. So it's from Silver Spring, Maryland. Yeah, look at that venue information, how unusual that is up there. November Dance, huh? That's really cool. And I love the collegey line on here. That's what I call it. Where it says admission $2.25 stag and $3.50 drag. That is so happy days. And for the and I'll go ahead and, for the small number of people to understand, that's obviously stag is alone, and then $3.50 you're dragging a date along, and so the couples are $3.50. And then you've got on there the line raffles and semi-formal, probably requiring some nice dress to keep perhaps the troublemaking frat brats out of it or something. But just love the college angle of this poster. You don't see it very often. Beautiful tour blank. Boy, 1958, some great R&B and rock and roll history on it, and some awesome colors. So hope you enjoyed seeing it. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and we'll see you next time for something soon. Bye-bye.